Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days is regarded by many fans as the best Kingdom Hearts game in terms of the story. The great story is mostly attributed to the awesome characters, especially the main trio, Axel, Roxas, and Shion. But today, we'll be discussing something I'd like to call the slavery simulator. Basically, I'll talk about two factors that are the main reasons for us as the player feeling like a complete slave while playing through Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Let's go. Minus the character development and the interactions our main trio has between each other, as well as the other members of Organization 13, the game itself feels repetitive. And I mean repetitive all of the time, not just at certain points. Literally almost every day, with a few exceptions here and there, is always the same shit. Get your assignment from Syax, do the job with another member or on your own, and finally hang out with the boys before repeating the cycle the very next day. Almost each and every single of Roxas's days in the organization consists of the same linear bullshit routine. Each mission is either explore a new world or maybe defeat some Heartless with a tiny bit of variety amongst the missions. This just leads to the game feeling like a job or chore, which at least for me, and after beating it a couple times through an emulator, I just decided that if I want to revisit the game, whether it be for a YouTube video or just for my personal enjoyment of the story, that the better option is just to watch the cutscenes. And even then, as Roxas is working his ass off for all these lazy pieces of shit, the before mentioned routine is still very visible and present. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean all this in a completely negative way. Square Enix did an amazing job at making us as the player feel like a slave who has no choice to do what he's told, which ultimately leads to the second factor of why this game feels like the ultimate slavery simulator, and that factor is... Firstly, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to nobodies. It is at this point that it's already well known that the nobodies can, in fact, grow hearts over time. Now, that whole situation is cleared up, let's talk about the lack of respect that Roxas has in this situation. I already mentioned this in my video where I summed up the story of this game, that Roxas and Shion to an extent are doing literally all of the work and the other members are just not doing anything. Whether it be slicing Heartless, exploring, or whatever other shit the higher-ups have them do, especially when comparing them to the other members who I think Xemnas and Syax have at least some sort of respect for. When it comes to Roxas or Shion, Xemnas openly admits that Shion is just a puppet who he intends to reprogram and use again after she runs away. Syax says that they are left with
the one we can't use.
Of course, referring to Roxas. This is really the proof that even though Roxas does all of the hard work, he gets literally no credit for it. None. Zero. This could partially be the reason why he leaves the organization towards the end of the game, and he also says in this scene while talking to Axel that
no one would miss me.
Since we are the player and we're witnessing all this leads us to feel like we're just working some shitty job where we got no respect for the hard work that we do. Finally, I would like to say that this whole video is just my point of view on this whole thing, and it's just a certain aspect of the game that's very interesting, and I'm glad I looked into it a little bit in this video. I would love to get some sort of discussion going in the comments on your guys' end as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video or stream, bye bye.